Hey guys, this is going to be episode 1 of Pug Routes. I'm going to go over the route at the end of the dungeon, just so you guys can see it and then get a refresher. And yeah, we'll just get right into the run as soon as everyone's ready. I chose Necrotic Wake, 1, because I have a quest to complete so I can go back Kyrian, and 2, I think Necrotic Wake, whenever I pug as a DPS, is always the roughest key. So we're going to do Necrotic Wake. And these pug route episodes are just geared to have the least amount of skips possible. Pulls that aren't too hard to do, and yeah, I'll explain to you how to use the weapons as a tank, and yeah, that should be it. We're just gonna get right into it. So first pull is gonna be this 3-pack. It's gonna be a 3-pack on top of this, and get these 3. So the reason we're doing this on Bolstering Week is because the white bags do not bolster. They don't do any on-death affix. Also, to show you guys, this isn't like a pre-made group. Everyone's 1200 IO. I think the highest is like 1300. So this first pull, you mostly just want to be getting kicks on the Vanguard. You want to use stops on meat shields, so like Blake Sweep, Paralyze, all of that works on the meat shield. That's the easiest way to do it. Same with Drain Fluids, you can just CC it. It won't recast. Let myself get up a little high on Necrotic, that's fine. I grab the spear, I wait for the blight bag pack. Forward brew, I pull this. Make sure, so when you're pulling these blight bags, right, make sure you grab the lead, or you taunt the lead. That was a little sketchy, I should have let my Necrotic reset. But yeah, we're gonna pull this. Wait to get it lined up. Bone dust brew. Spear this. So the reason you spear this is this pack's like really hard for a lot of pugs, and I don't think the boss is that hard. You can choose to not spear that, that's completely fine. It'll just be a little sketchy. I suggest not spearing it if you have people that pop cooldowns on that pull. But yeah, we do this Pride. If I was Kyrian, I would activate the orb at like 50% on the Pride, but I'm not, so. Something you should do as a Brewmaster on these Pride is off heal, so like Celestial Brewing yourself, and then off healing is a really good time something to do. Gonna throw on a coin and see what we get. We got a male panda, that's good luck. So I'm gonna pull his boss now. I'm gonna pull the boss with the blight bags, because again the blight bags don't bolster. So we're gonna pull these together. Gonna bloodlust. We watch Thieving Rush, we dispel whoever gets it, we walk over, we rop them together, we sweep them. Then at the end of the sweep we clash, so they're all rooted, and they stay nice and neat. I'm gonna drag the boss up here a little bit, just so we save room. I see they're not moving, so I'm gonna drag it in front of them, so that way they're pointing it behind. Yeah, there we go. We see it's on Draco, we dispel whoever gets hit. We're gonna look to clash the backmost one, and that roots the front two, but not the back one for some reason. I don't know why it does that on these mobs. We paralyze that cast, and we try to keep them as grouped as possible. So the way the carrion worms work is every time that one of them dies, it leaves a puddle where they died. And we want to tank the boss as close to the edge as possible. That way he drops fetid gas on top of the other pools. He's going to do Heaving Wretch here, so I'm going to pull him back. He does fetid gas. Speed on him so it's in front of the people. See it's on him, I wait to see who gets hit. I dispel the hunter because he's the squishiest. I ring a piece them away. I'm gonna go ahead and touch of death the one, mailing our friend. I'm gonna leg sweep and then clash. I got silence there, But an interesting interaction. Okay, I guess the clash still went off. But if I clash a little bit later, if you clash and then get silenced mid-clash, it won't actually complete. It'll just stop your cast. I think it's more of like a pacify thing than a silence thing, though. It's gonna go on Dracula, so I dispel him, and that's it. So after the boss, so normally we would do this 3-pack right here with the boss and this 2-pack right here. But since it's Bolstering Week, we can't. You can maybe do it at the end of the boss, but you might as well do it after. These just jump around, they don't really do anything special. Beat tree, so I don't have to worry about Necrotic yet. Yeah, we should get this pack done. We're gonna go ahead and so we have 29%, so this is all the trash we need in this area. We're gonna go ahead and paralyze the Harvester and then Ring of Peace. The Patchwork Soldiers don't move when you Ring of Peace them, so it's an easy skip. You just walk right past. We're gonna go ahead and taunt the Necromancer into the Sorcerer, and I'm gonna kick the Sorcerer. Gonna grab the Blight Bags too, since he Wild Spirits. Celestial Brew at high HP. Taunt the Blight Bag in. I'm gonna kick the Sorcerer. Gonna Fort Brew. And then Fleshcraft to do 20% DR. Gonna drop my Cardboard Assassin here and then walk away. Cardboard Assassin is really, really good for Necrotic Week. If you're a Kyrian, though, this is like kind of a breeze for you. We're going to go ahead and grab the Orb. I try to get all the weapons I can whenever I poke Necrotic Wake, because I think it's better that the tank uses it, especially with Bone Dust Brew. In high-level groups, you want the person with like the most crits. So, like, say a hunter with Kyrian Arrow is really good at dealing or doing the Orb. Crit's really valuable on orbs. I have my roll ready just in case that fear is about to go off. We single target down the Marauder. I should have saved my blood spatter scale to try to burst this down, but it ended up being fine. We sweep this cast. Boneman goes off, he gets kicked, that's good. If it doesn't, it's not a big deal. Shadow Well goes where you start. You let the final bargain go off, it's completely fine that the final bargain goes off. As you see, the mob just dies. You want to kick Boneman though, in case it tries to heal itself, but it's in Solar Beam. We do Pride here, and then we do Narzuda. So again, Pride, you just want to do damage until your team starts dying. And then you want to focus on off healing. I usually save my Celestial Brew until my team starts dying. So you're going to Bone Dust Brew the two over there, Celestial Brew, and start healing the people at Bone. Heal the Hunter, get a good crit on him. Stuff like that just helps out a lot. Alright, now we're going to pull Narzuda. I'm going to ring the far one into me, spinning Crane Kick to grab aggro, and then I kick Narzuda. Then I activate the Orb. Belf the Shroud off. And then I'm going to grab the Hammer and the Spear. You want to do Hammer and then Spear. I kick that. Drop Celestial Brew because I'm going to be getting hit in the back. This is Death Burst. We have no Dispel here, so hopefully they late kick or don't kick at all. He should Dark Shroud after this Grim Fate. Yep, you Dark Shroud. Should die. Good. You just want to do these two Marauders next, and then you will not do the Necromancer on the left side. So we pull these two Marauders. We're going to save Bone Dust Brew and Blood Spattered for when they shield. I'm going to go Nox now. shield, Blood spatter. Start bursting as much as you can. Good, we get those down. Then we go into the middle. We kick the sorcerer. Then we pull it into these little dudes. So the way Bone Carve works. Oh, someone pulled this bad. Okay, goody fame. So the way Bone Carve works is the same as like Misfailed Bite. More or less the same thing. You just CC it and it won't recast. This is not good. Oh, Primal Earth Ellie, that's good. 4 brew. I played that really poorly. I should have been paying attention to my HP way more. So when you do a pull like that, you pretty much want to just tank it to like 20 stacks, then leg sweep, and then kite it out. Or if you're Kyrian, you just pot around 30 stacks. That's usually how I do it. Pull this in. Throw a bone. Start off healing the shaman. So you're gonna see they're gonna cast Bone Carve, and I'm gonna leg sweep it. Or bone fillet. Leg sweep it, they don't recast. So if you ever wanna do that, it's really good. Gonna Ring of Feast, hopefully drop stacks here. Oh no. Oh. I'm trolling. Okay, it's fine. It didn't pull somehow. So I didn't mean to jump off of there, but, you know, it happens. You want to pair the farthest one, kick the Frostbolt volley. Everyone else kicks everything else. Oh, someone broke it. That's unfortunate. I just clashed it in. You just want to focus the Necromancer here. Paralyze the Frostbolt volley. Oh, I don't have it. Yeah. Touch it at the Necromancer. Easy peasy. Someone grab the other spear. We want to spear this boss because this boss is not that easy for pugs. So pull this. I get the first kick. You pretty much only want to spear or kick Necrotic Bolts if you can. And I'm going to pair one of the mages, so... And I just paired nothing. I'm actually just trolling. Sweep. Gonna clash this Frostbolt volley. So as you can see, even if you mess up, you can still make up for it. Okay, so before I messed up, so what I was gonna say is the add spawn in a certain order. It's always gonna be warrior, mage, crossbowman, mage, warrior. So there it is: warrior, mage, crossbowman, and then mage, warrior. It's always in that same order. So whenever you see the second circle, you already know it's a mage. And whenever you see the third circle, it's crossbowman, and the fifth circle is warrior. I'm gonna flesh grab right here because there's no better time to do it, and I have Iron Bark, so I'm gonna get the full value of the shield. Kick here. You don't want to kick too late. If you kick too late in the cast just goes off anyway, even though you interrupted it. Warrior, Mage, Crossbowman. Gonna knock this Mage in. Gonna clash the other one. Leg sweep. Get aggro on this Warrior. Kick the boss. Start focusing down the Warriors. And yeah, that's pretty much how you do the boss, just rinse and repeat. The way we do it in our group, we don't spear this boss, we always just lust it. And that's about it, we don't really do anything special. I taught it way too early there, that was troll. Boss would have been dead right now. It's okay though. So you want to grab the orb here. Take an angel up. You want to get here first, that way you can CC this pat. It's really important that you CC this pat, so what I'm going to do, Tiger's Lust myself, roll, pair the lead, pull the spare parts on top of this, leg sweep. If you leg sweep, they won't fixate anyone, they'll just go on you. That one decided to still fixate, I don't know why, but it's fine. I have 25 stacks, so I'm going to rop here, he trees, so I'm going to keep my distance in case the trees die. Good, stacks drop. Drain Fluid and Core Splatter are both the same. You can CC them to stop them. So you're gonna clash it. I'm pretty sure I clashed it before it got interrupted, but I'm not sure. Max range para, so you don't pull it. I have my kick here. I'm gonna wait to see if the pugs kick. They kick, so I don't have to use mine. We do that, and then we go up to the top right pack. So we pull this in a specific order, so we have the Flesh Crafter for Pride. Bone Dust Spear on pull. Ox. Kick Gore Splatter. Drop the Drain Fluids. As you can see, it doesn't recast. Gonna cardboard so I can get my refresh on the CC. Max range para. Drop my necrotic stacks. Continue tanking. The hunter backed in, that's okay. We just play it. I used my para, that was unfortunate, I shouldn't have done that, I should use Clash. That's okay though. I'll eat the cleaver. Pat's coming. Tell our team that Pat's coming. Tell our team to move because the Pat's like right there. Oh no, dude. I'm gonna Fleshcraft here and then start off healing. We're gonna off heal the hunter. Shaman pops wall, so we don't have to off. Throw some heals on the boon. Whenever you off heal, you just want to use stuff to shield yourself. That way you're not taking damage. We know we can Todd and like 20k more HP. We Todd. We pull this. He Wild Spirits, so we don't chain yet. Kick the Gore Splatter. Sweep the drain. He kicked it, which is good. Since it's already too low, we're just gonna let it die. I would have chained it in when it was higher. Roll into this. Is out on pull. Orb. Make sure the cleaver's hitting some of the mobs. We say ring a piece for the first cast. We ring a piece all this. Spine Crush works the same way that any of these casts do. You just CC it and it won't recast. Drag the soldiers in front of the Fleshcrafter. So this part you want to watch, these two cleavers, you want to watch for your teammates and what they're doing so you can soak them if they're messing it up. Stack them on pull. So I see one's on the Druid. He's not going to get it, so I soak that one. Can't soak both. Kick the Drain Fluid. Fixates on the Hunter. Hopefully he feigns. Nope, he's just going to tank it. Oh, okay. No one's moving with that cleaver, so I just soak it. He's probably not going to move with that cleaver, so I just soak it. This one's going to cleaver next. He might fixate first. Fixate right there. It's on the Druid. Tigers lost the Druid in case they want to run. He's going to cleaver right after. We just follow him, make sure he's not moving. We pre-fleshcraft this pack. We spinning crane kick on pull just to get aggro. We bone dust brew, double keg smack. On the second mutilate, will blood spattered scale. Assuming he doesn't trees. Taunt the yellow. He's gonna tenderize here, then we blood spattered. Blood spattered now. He trees, we're gonna start walking away, just in case they die early. Gonna slush over here. He's gonna do a 3-stack mutilate. Next mutilate, we will Zen mode. He's gonna tenderize and we'll mutilate right at the end. Zen mode that. Then Todd. And we have a 10-stack Purified Chi going into this, so we're just gonna spinning crank kick to get aggro and then Celestial Brew immediately. Celestial Brew. Drop our Ox. Get the Celestial Brew and mutilate. We see who that's on. Tiger's last person with the debuff. Or with the spew. Mutilate's gonna happen again. We're not too worried about this one. He trees again, so we don't have to worry. If he didn't trees, I would just cardboard right there for a free reset. We have a 7-stack Celestial Brew for this mutilate. Celestial Brew this. We rob the little ones away, so they hopefully stop AoEing. Speed taunt them away, so they don't have anything to cleave off of. Good. This is much better than last time. He does a spew, hopefully he dies before it hits. Good. Taunt the Pride. Keep it away from the dead corpse. We see where a Hunter and Boomkin are, so when you're about to bone dust, just keep in mind where your teammates are. I'm going to Fleshcraft here, and then throw my Bone Dust Brew. Purify one more time. Celestial Brew, then heal. Throw big Vivifies on our team. As you can see, like, it makes so much of a difference if you Vivify. Now we pull this boss. Keep it close so it's an easier time for your team to hook. a lot of people aren't very good at aiming it unless it's like a straight line. You want a Phantom Fire here, Tom before he comes down. I'm saving my spear for the last boss because I think the last boss is much harder. Blood Spatter for damage. Booming Convokes, really good. Keep the boss in front of the line. It's gonna die. So just Tiger's else the person who has it. It's kind of redundant because he has a Pride Speed, but it's fine. He escapes here. We're gonna get the new ad in. Speed taunt the new ad. Get it close just like the last one. Put the Embalming Ichor on the far side. Put the ad up here so he has an easy time aiming. That one might miss. I think it did so. Yep. We drop Ox here. Celestial Brew the Separate Flesh. Drag the boss in front of the line. It's on the Hunter. This might not hit. Yep, didn't hit. We Tigers lost the Hunter. Might hit. I don't think it will though. So we want to keep these two ads separated. So that hook goes through. We want to tank this one because it doesn't. That one doesn't hit the boss. This one does. 4 brew, so we don't die. Start channeling Fleshcraft till we can Todd. We'll Todd now. Yep. And we go up to the last boss, and we spear when our Bone Dust Brew's up. We're going to spear this one. He's going to send someone up. We Celestial Brew. Then he's going to pick the Hunter because he Wild Spirited. Oh, we picked the Boomy. Good. The shield should be easy because the Hunter's Wild Spirits in. Next shield, we can go ahead and use our orb, or not our orb, but our hammer. So we're gonna put our Bone Dust Brew down. And after this Icy Shards, we use hammer. We use hammer. Doesn't get any ticks off. Next one, we will Ox. So we're gonna Ox. We're gonna save our Purifies for when the shield's about to come up. Purify 1, Purify twice, drop our Bone Dust Brew. Just make sure we're maximizing our globals. Celestial Brew here. Our Boomy CA Convoking. Watching to see if our Shaman gets dispelled. I'm gonna Fleshcraft here and then mix my min-max my damage on this. That one died quick because the Boomy still has his buff. Dark Exile on the Boomy again. We save our Blood Spattered scale for the next shield and our Bone Dust Brew. Celestial Brew here. He Iron Barks me, so I know I don't have to worry too much about myself. Shield should be after the next Icy Shard, so we're gonna Bone Dust Brew right now. Blood Spattered. Try to min-max as many globals as we can into the shield. Works really easy. We know Wild Spears is coming, so this one's gonna be easy. Frozen Binds on the Druid, we're gonna get him out so he doesn't have to spell himself. And yeah, easy run. This is my damage breakdown, including the weapons. Bone Dust Brew does a lot because of the weapons, so let me see if I can find the spear. So this spear procced a good amount of Bone Dust Brew, I think. Yeah, it procced once. Wasn't bad. And then on Althor, it procced. Did 87k. But yeah, that's the run. I'm going to go over the route really quick just to give you guys a refresher, and then we'll end the video. Gonna open up the route. I'll put the MDT in the link in the description. So let me change one thing since I ended up not doing it. So what you do is you pull G1, G2, G3, and G5, all of this together. Make sure you use your kiting tools to drop your necrotic, and then we do G5 and G10 together. Remember, when you're pulling G10, wait till it stops around right here, and wait till it's fully stopped, and then pull the lead closest to this wall, so like closest over here. You pull that one and do not AoE. Just make sure you tag that mob alone. Next pull is Pride, and then after Pride you do Boss plus G11, and then after the boss you do G6 and G8, and then you paralyze Corpse Harvester 8, and then ring a piece it this way, ring a piece it towards here, and then you walk past, you do G13 and G14 together. Then you do G15 with it if someone's popping cooldowns, and then you do G16, then G17 with the orb, and then G18, and then you pull G21 and G22 together. Make sure you're careful about your stacks here. If you have the Kyrian orbs, then, or if you, no, you wouldn't have Kyrian orbs, so yeah, just make sure you're careful on this pull. You can even chain it in if you want. You don't even have to do all this together. You can just chain it in and take it slow. And then we do G23, then we do G25, then we have someone spear a Marth, and then we go up. We do G26 and G29 together, and we CC this pat right here, G28, over here, so we want to CC it right here. And then we pull G30 to get G30, and then we want to kill Loyal Creation 1, which spawns the Pride, and then use Fleshcrafter 2 on the Pride. On Pugs, they'll probably both die. That's how it happens. That happened in our run. And then we do G28 and G31 together or separate. It doesn't matter. On Bolstering, separate is easier, obviously. So you can do whichever one you're more comfortable with. And we either orb G31 or we orb both of them together. And then we do G32 together. Just watch Soaking for your friends. Then we do G33, G34, Pride, then Stitch Flesh. You can spear that boss if your team's comfortable doing this boss without spear. And then we spear hammer this boss. And yeah, that's the route. Hope you guys like the video. Like if you like the video, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Twitch, and yeah, have a nice one.